Final Fantasy. I'm sorry, Kingsglaive. Final Fantasy 15. Okay.
Yes.
So I just finished. Watching it earlier, and
This
I'd
is the first time
say,
you've seen the movie, right?
yeah, this is the first time I've seen the movie,
But you
and
have played the game.
no,
Oh, you have not played the game
with
yet.
Final
Okay.
Fantasy 15, I've only played like the first 15 minutes. It's just during the tutorial.
I see.
Um,
Okay.
and with that tutorial, they teach you how to use the magic, how to use your weapons, and how to warp. Which,
Yes.
which
Warp
I'm,
strikes.
which I am glad that I did at least play the tutorial, because, especially with the warping,
Yes.
because they did so much of that in this movie.
Agreed. Yes.
And I'm like, because if I didn't do that, like if I didn't play at least the tutorial, I would be
Yeah.
asking a lot more questions. How the hell are they doing this? Because they didn't explain that. All right. So with Final Fantasy 15, I keep saying it's Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15.
Yes.
I tried not to reading other reviews or watching any YouTube videos about it. I did heard
Yes.
about the movie like a few years back, like 5 years ago, and I bought a DVD, a high definition DVD of it.
Yeah.
Well, it was here. I was planning to watch that one while my PlayStation 3 is out, so I can watch it there. However,
Okay.
I said it's just in my cabinet. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I don't want to rummage all through that. So I tried. I tried Netflix and said, oh, Netflix Australia was still showing Kingsglaive all up
It was.
until, yeah,
Okay.
up until May 4th. And then it's gone. I think that's the agreement
Yeah.
that they had with Square Enix. So I watched that.
Lucky you.
here.
You were able to catch
Yeah.
it on the large screen high def. Okay, that's good.
I was able to, yeah, and they were showing it in 4K. And,
Nice.
And at first I thought watching it with the Japanese subs, with Japanese audio, with English
Yes.
subs, because it's us, that's how
Yeah.
we do it. And then I
That's
thought,
how we roll. Yeah.
and then I thought, oh no, the way Netflix showed it, it's like they're showing the English sub
Okay.
in tune with the English dub. Like, for example, because I tried a few seconds of it, and the Japanese voiceover was talking, and
Okay.
for a good portion of it, the subs are not showing. However, if you
Oh,
watch
okay.
it with the English voice, then the English sub is perfectly in
Synchronizes.
sync.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Okay.
it's going to be annoying as hell if I do this. So I shifted
Yeah.
back to English instead.
It works though. I mean, it's not overtly Japanese in itself. Kingsglaive, the way that it's done, it's semi-European when you really look at it. So yeah, it kind of works for the English dub anyway. Yeah.
It's kind of weird because they don't really look Asian at all in anyway. So, you know what I mean? They for the most part, the character designs that they did kind of look
Yes.
Caucasian-y, kind of.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. There are some,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I said in the group chat, I can see some Hollywood actors kind of similarities in here. Like, for example,
Yeah.
King Regis, he kind of looks like Christian Bale with
A
old
little
makeup.
bit. Yeah. he's got that angular look to him. Yeah, that's
and then
true.
and then one of the Kingsglaive members kind of look like Corey Feldman. Someone kind of look like Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And some characters kind of look straight from Game of Thrones.
Well, since we're talking about the visual aspect, what was your opinion of the visual aspect of Kingsglaive?
They look good. I mean, this is not the same. I believe this is not the same studio that Square Enix used when they did
Yes.
Advent Children or even
Hmm.
Spirits Within.
Spirits Within.
I think this is
Yeah.
called Studio 6. And
I think so. Yeah.
and for the most part, they all look great. Especially if they really are closing up with in their faces, and especially during whenever a character is given some dramatic dialogue, you can really tell.
Yes.
Um, there are some instances that there might be some inconsistencies, and I try not to fault them on that one. Especially during the third act where everything went to shit, like it all went batshit insane. Like you can still follow
Yeah.
because with the first arc and the second arc, all right, you can still follow things along. And then when the third act happened, oh my god, that's where all of the CG went insane.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really did like it. We have come a long way.
Yes, I agree.
We have come a long way since Spirits Within, and
True. Very true.
and to me, the best summary that I could probably give overall, Kingsglaive, this movie did exceed everything that Spirits Within did right. Oh no. It exceeded everything that Advent Children did right, that the fans love, while avoiding everything that Spirits Within did wrong, that the fans hated.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
That's the best summary that I could probably give this movie. And with there are some characters here that I really kind of like. I mean, with the principal characters, they were given some sort of a character arc, and one of the characters kind of stood out to me was Libertus. Is it his name?
Yes, Libertus. Yes.
And there were. I mean, he came off as this very disgruntled employee, quote unquote.
Well, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and understandably so. Something happened. Something happened with them. It's good to mention that Kingsglaive. Okay, it's a story between the Lucis Kingdom and the Niflheim Empire. Okay.
Yes.
They're fighting over this crystal that holds so much power, and the Lucis Kingdom has that power, has that crystal.
Yes.
Lucis Kingdom, very much in tune with magic, and then the Niflheim Empire, they don't have that much magic, but they excel in technology. So more machinery on their part. So it's magic versus technology basically. What we're happening here, and unfortunately, with the military technological might of Niflheim Empire, they were able to they were overpowered. Basically, they overpowered the Lucis Kingdom. They're losing territories left and right, and then Niflheim said, "Bitch, what you gonna do? You can't fight us. Surrender now, okay? Either die on your feet, or live on your knees." Basically, what they did, right? So
pretty much, yeah.
And then they said, "Okay, how about this? Okay, we will take every territory that you got except for your capital,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we'll stop the hostilities. Oh! By the way,
Yes.
your crown prince and one of our princesses here, yeah, they need to hook up,
Yeah.
as a sign
Mm-hmm.
of goodwill, as a sign of peace. Okay, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, there's nothing nefarious gonna happen. I mean, what can go wrong? So,
Well, since we touched on that, how did the plot come across to you? And no spoilers in general. Like, sure, we can do spoilers, but not to the point where we reveal what happens throughout. How did the plot come across to you overall? Did you like how it unfolded? Was it well structured? Is it something that you enjoyed overall?
I cannot necessarily say it's a original plan, like it's an original plot,
Mm,
because it kind of I'm thinking about it. I'm like, where have I seen this kind of, not necessarily an exact plot point.
mm.
It kind of reminded of Troy, like
Yeah, the Trojan
like
horse,
a Trojan
definitely.
horse,
Yes, yes. Mm-mm.
because I'm like, so I mean, because when the Empire tried what they did, I'm like, okay, that's a good way of infiltrating the capital.
Yes. Mm.
Sure, uh, I'm not saying that they did exactly what the Trojan horse.
No, but
Um,
the theme is the same.
the theme is
The theme is the
basically
same.
the
Being
same, right?
able to go inside.
They were
Yes, that's
they were
true.
able to go inside. Oh,
Yes. Mhm.
when we say they went inside, because the Lucis Kingdom basically has this this big wall. It keeps everything away. It keeps every
Yes.
outsiders, those
Mhm.
immigrants away because of this
Mhm.
massive wall. Okay, it drives every undesirable out while keeping us safe.
Well, you're saying that actually makes the argument for the
It
wall,
did
because
make
the
the
fact that
argument for
if
them,
Niflheim did what Niflheim did actually destroyed Insomnia. So you're
right?
basically making his argument for him, right? But in any
The
case,
wall is a very good idea, guys.
yes, there you go. So, but then again, it the storyline though it came across as similar in theme to the Trojan War, and I agree with that one. But as a moviegoer, as
Mm,
somebody who has no familiarity with the game,
with
well,
the
you do
game,
have familiarity with the game, but if you put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's just going into the theater, who has no idea about the video game, does it work as a movie for you?
it I would say a yes and a no. It's a yes
Mm,
because it they were able to tell a story that,
mm,
okay, this is what's happening. This is the current story.
mm.
Two warring nations
Yeah.
trying to come up
Mm,
with a peaceful resolution, as
mm.
sneaky
Well,
as sneaky as
mm,
it would go. I mean, trying to relate
mm.
that in real life, we can see
Yeah.
some real life situations, something like this happening even back
Mm.
then and even now, and with the characters, uh, they were given some depth.
Mm.
However,
True.
if uh, if I'm the type of person who would go with story than spectacle, this movie has
Mm.
both. It
Okay.
has both story and spectacle. If you are paying attention to what's going on, then
Mm.
eventually you'll get it. Um,
Mm.
the spectacle, well, it's CG, guys. It's magic and science fiction technology. What can you ask for? Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't expect way too much. Uh,
Mm.
but it's a no in a way, because during the ending, all the way it
Mm.
led up to the ending,
Yeah.
it felt like it didn't really concluded the way it should.
Satisfactorily.
It's not very
Mm.
satisfactory, because
Mm.
let's not forget, this movie was designed to be a prequel for the
Yes.
game. So
Mm.
if you're going to judge it, does this movie stand on its own? Then
No, definitely not.
definitely
No.
not, because
Mm.
you got the head, you got the body, you got the lower
Yeah.
body, you got the knees. but there's no foot.
Mhm.
So without the foot to stand on properly, this is basically
It falls down.
it falls down. What the things that keep what things that are keeping this movie up? The crutches were like I mentioned, the spectacle, the magic here, the magic here, the warping, the monsters,
Yes.
and the machinery. Very heavily specific for Final Fantasy 15. And if you're a fan, if you or not really a fan, but if you played Final Fantasy 15 specifically, then you'll enjoy it more because you are seeing the familiar things that you're already seeing
Yes.
from the game. If you're a
That's true.
casual, then you might say, okay, how come they can do this? How come they can do that?
Yes.
They didn't really specifically mention how they were able to do it. They said it's magic coming from someone, and if someone is no longer there, then that capability of theirs is gone
gone.
as well. So, if you're going to take that in face value, that's only explained during like what, the later half of the movie already. So
Pretty much, yeah.
so for the first half of the movie, you'll still be asking, okay, how can they do this? How can they do that? But eventually, it gets addressed, kind of. But they didn't really linger on way too much on it. One of
So
yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say, overall, as a movie, it stands. It doesn't stand on its own because it's obviously a prequel. But for a casual, they'll just be bewildered from what you're saying. They're like, why, how, when, something like that. Is that how it comes
I would
across?
say if it's not the ending,
Yeah.
a good chunk of it is still satisfactory because because they were able to tell a story. Here's the conflict, and here's how they and here's the here's the
Resolution.
here's the situation, here's the conflict, and then they were able to give a resolution. In that regard, they did that.
True.
Save for how it ended, sure. So they still had that, and with the characters here, there are only like maybe four, at least four characters that you get that you really get invested in. Okay, and I'm like, they keep saying about the marriage. We did something about a marriage here. Oh
Yeah.
hang on. So we did mention something about a marriage here. I'm like, okay, so they introduced the bride. Where the hell is the groom? And I'm like,
That's the thing.
and I'm like, the whole. I was waiting for them to show the groom, and he was kind of there in the beginning.
He was mentioned a lot. He was mentioned a lot.
They keep mentioning his name, although he did made an appearance.
Yes.
Kind of during the first 10 minutes of the game, at the 10 minutes of the movie, and then the rest of the movie they keep just referring his name. They keep saying his name. All right, where is he?
Yeah.
Where our boy at? Right. I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, the prince is the guy is waiting for you right over there. So from here, go there, meet with him. Okay, and then live long and prosper. All right, the bride's like, all right, I'll do that. Ending. That's it. So
Pretty much, yeah.
Like if there's one of the complaints that I can probably tell from any casual goer, they will like, okay, where's the prince at? Where's the groom?
Exactly. Yeah. No, it basically comes across as really a part of the overall. And I'm not quite sure a casual would really want to delve into everything after having gone through about an hour and 55 minutes of movie. It's a question of whether the casual will want to go through the rest of it, because it's pretty obvious that the movie is just the beginning of the entire storyline. So I guess in the end of it, as a as somebody who has not played the game, but you are a gamer, would Kingsglaive, to boil it all down, would Kingsglaive serve as a good appetizer for you to
It's a
want to
good
start
it,
the Final Fantasy 15 game?
it's a good appetizer,
Mm-hmm.
really, because I because at least you already know
Mm-hmm.
it kind of lays the foundation of what people can do. It sets
Yes.
the rules of the world that you're already in.
Mm-hmm.
It establishes who's the good guys, who's the
Yeah.
bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's a no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong way to think about it. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's
Side
there,
A and
there
side B, shall we say?
there's white and black, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
gray.
Mm-hmm.
If I do, if that's
Yes.
is the best word that I can put it. It's like
Pretty much. Yeah.
you're questioning the decisions of the authority figures. If you're
Mm-hmm.
someone from the bottom ladder of the cast,
Mm-hmm.
and and the movie also shows on the different angle of the rationality of the upper ups deciding what's best for the people down, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
I mean the way with the way they played the politics here is pretty much the same as any politics that you find in real life. Like if
Mm,
things
true.
like if you're on the bottom, they think that you're understandably can believe that you're dispensable in the
Mm,
eyes of the authority. And if you're in the
yeah.
and if you are the authoritative figure, you mean well, okay, with the very limited resources and with the very limited resources and options that you have.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what can you do? So that's the way how I see the politics on that they played in the movie. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
understand why the normal citizens feel the way they
Yes.
feel, and you also can understand the logic behind why the decisions were made
Mm-hmm.
from the ruling class.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, boil it all down, Joe. As a movie, not as a video game prequel, would what is your rating on this one? You want to do numerical? You want to do must watch? Watch it on Netflix or give it a pass, or you want to do a 1 to 10 numerical score?
I would say this is a must watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are if it if Netflix in your country still carries this, go ahead and watch it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do warn you that if you watch it with the Japanese voices, there might be some
Mm-hmm.
in sync or unsync, some
Yeah.
syncing issues with the subtitles. Okay, and
Yeah.
the English voice the English voice acting is not really that ain't that bad really. It's not
Yeah.
that bad.
Mm-hmm.
If anything,
Mm-hmm.
there might be some lips syncing issues, but
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, you don't really notice it that much unless you really pay attention to their lips. It didn't
Yeah.
really bother me. I would say because out of the three Final Fantasy movies, okay, I would rate Kingsglaive as the best, Advent
Mm-hmm.
Children second, Spirits Within last. Okay,
Okay.
and in regarding to is it a good precursor to a Final Fantasy game? Because this is the problem that
Mm-hmm.
I had with Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Because
Okay.
that movie is a basically an epilogue kind of thing. You need to play the game first before you go watch this.
Pretty much, yeah.
At least with this one, at least this one, it helps establish the world first before you
Mm-hmm.
go to the game, rather than playing the whole game before you have to enjoy the movie. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
All
Spirits
right.
Within
So
is dumpster fire all in itself.
So Jaws rating is it's a must watch. If it's available on Netflix, go catch it there and enjoy it for what it is, a movie with dazzling visuals, with an interesting plot,
Oh
and
yeah,
overall, yeah, an interesting way to pass the time. That's your rating then. Is that it, Joe?
I it's a rating from me. It's a good passing rating from me. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just watch out for the third act. Okay. With all of the busyness, stop asking how come there's a monster here and then there's a robot here.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a Final Fantasy movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you're the type of person who has been complaining where the monsters at in Spirits Within,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're complaining where's the science fiction at during Advent Children. Square
Mm-hmm.
Enix gave you both in Kingsglaive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm not gonna hear any complaints about they did too much of both. They gave you exactly
Well,
what you want here. Okay,
yes.
this movie is basically a Final Fantasy game in itself. It has magic. It
Mm-hmm.
has monsters.
Yes.
Science fiction technology. What more can it got lots of men, good looking men in leather.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of leather, black and gray in this movie. Not a lot of
Okay.
colors, really.
Okay. And
If it's like oh, one last thing, it kind of looked like if Zack Snyder made a Final Fantasy movie in the DC,
that's an accurate assessment. Yeah. Hmm. And
this would
it
be
has a chocobo in
this
it.
would be it, right?
And it has a chocobo in it.
And
I
it has a
mean,
chocobo
not the
in it.
chocobo that
I
not the
think
chocobo that you expect,
was
but
it?
yeah.
No, there's no chocobo in this, like an actual
No, there
chocobo.
is. There
There
is.
is, but it's just a name. It's a delivery.
Yes, exactly.
You see, you'll see. Oh, chocobo. Okay, where's the chocobo at?
Yes,
Nothing.
that's pretty much it.
If anything, if anything, they might be eating it during the.
Yeah.
They might be eating a chocobo meat.
Oh my gosh. All right. So that is Joe's opinion on Kingsglaive, a Final Fantasy 15 movie.
Must watch, guys. Must watch.
Mhm.